Watch as Jerry Yu takes it nice and easy on this out lap. It's not just about warming up the tires, it's about getting into that mental pit lane, tuning into the race mindset.
For sure, Rob, they're calibrating everything: the brakes, the steering, the throttle response. It's a crucial part of laying down the groundwork for a successful practice session.
Sunrider is getting to grips with the BCRC Mods H MMGMGA in this practice session. And off goes Jerry Yu, easing into the rhythm of Imola 1972 34 slots. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the senses, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
Sunrider is in Rivarza. There goes Eddie G on their first dance with Imola 1972 34 slots. Every bend, every straight is a chance to learn, to adapt.
Yep, and it's about syncing with the car too, making sure everything's in harmony. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert.
Hey Hal, you reckon these drivers ever get tired of going round and round during practice?
Well, Rob, repetition is the key. Every lap gives you data, insights, and an edge over the competition.
There are just over 20 minutes left in this practice session. Andreas Dittmann is rolling out for the first sniff of the track. It's all about feeling the car, the tarmac, and getting the mind in the zone.
Absolutely, Rob. The out lap is like the opening chapter of a book. It sets the tone for the whole story. They'll be checking how the car's responding, getting a real feel for the conditions today at Imola 1972 34 slots.
There's Jury U, easing out onto Imola 1972 34 slots. It's like the first step on a long hike, finding your footing before you hit full stride.
Right, and every racer knows this out lap is precious. It's their first handshake with the track today, feeling out its mood and temperament.
Look at Andreas Dittmann taking it nice and easy, a smart move. Like a chess player contemplating the opening move, they're planning several steps ahead.
Spot on. They're mentally mapping each corner, each straight. It's not just about the car, it's about strategy and foresight.
Sunrider has a best lap time of 1:41.329. Smells like Wee is out there, taking it slow and steady on the out lap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. It's about understanding the track's personality today, a Euro. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Imola 1972 34 slots.
There's the first flying lap for Sunrider, hitting 1:41.329. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
You know, mate, some folks wonder why these drivers spend so much time in practice. But it's just like prepping a Barbie, you gotta get it right before the big show.
Exactly. Rob, practice makes perfect, and in racing, perfect can be the difference between pole position and the back of the grid.
It's all about finding that sweet spot during these sessions. Like tuning a didgeridoo, but way faster.
Haha, and a lot noisier. But you're right. In Indy, we fine-tune until it feels just right. Every lap here is a step towards perfection.
There's no mucking around for Jury U a Euro, straight down to business on this first flyer. They'll be keen to see what times they can clock in early on.
Yeah, and it's not just about speed. It's about rhythm, finding that flow around Imola 1972 34 slots. Getting into that groove early can set the pace for the whole session.
Sunrider posted a 1:43.433 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Look at Smells Like We Go, they're really giving it some jandal now. The first flyer is always a bit of a reconnaissance mission, a mix of caution and raw pace.
You bet, Rob. They're mapping out the track, feeling out the grip levels, and getting a sense of how the car's performing today. It's a crucial lap for building confidence.
Andreas Dittmann posted 144.624 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Jury Unit crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 144.850. They're getting to grips with Imola 1972-34 slots, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Not Clinton Kakatin is on the out lap, not just warming up the tires, but also warming up their instincts, getting that racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
Roll Postmas on the out lap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine, first impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
With just 11 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. It's a bit like looking for water in the outback. These drivers are searching for that sweet rhythm, where everything just clicks.
Spot on. It's that elusive flow state. When everything syncs up, the car, the track, the driver, that's when magic happens.
In these sessions, they're not just pushing the car's limits, but their own too. Testing their mettle, seeing how far they can go before the big dance.
Exactly. It's a mental game as much as a physical one. Balancing aggression with precision, daring with data. It's an art and a science.
Smells Like We is not hanging about, straight into the thick of it on this first flying lap. They're getting a real taste of the BCRC Mods HMAC ACE's capabilities.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the limits early on. You'll see them experimenting with braking points and turn-in speeds, all while keeping an eye on those tire temps.
Let's get this qualifying session underway here at Imola 1972-34 slots. Smells Like We is on their out lap.
They will want to get a good gap established for their first flying lap.
What an impressive performance from Roll Postma. They are currently leading the pack in this qualification session, showing incredible pace and skill. It's a commanding position for them, and they have set the bar high for their competitors.
You're spot on, Rob. Roel Postma is showcasing exceptional skill and consistency in this qualifying session. It's a formidable position they hold, and their rivals will need to step up their game to challenge them.
Impressive work from not Clinton Kakaden, who has claimed 8th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
Absolutely, Rob. Not Clinton Cockadon has put in a remarkable effort to secure 8th. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
A strong showing from Andreas Dittmann as they currently sit in 7th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve.
Spot on analysis, Rob. Andreas Dittmann has positioned themselves well in 7th. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the upcoming race.
It's an impressive Roll Postma has completed their outlap. A mesmerizing display from Eddie G in this qualifying session. They have left everyone in awe with their speed and precision. Currently leading the pack, they are setting the standard and sending a clear message to their competitors. Eddie G has completed their outlap. A solid performance from Roll Postma as they currently hold position 2. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid. Roll Postma has completed their outlap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Megasaurus 55 has just completed a lap in 1:40.422. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. Jury U has secured a respectable 6th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance? Raimo Pedersen has put in a great effort and currently holds 9th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position? Impressive display by Jury U, currently sitting in position 6. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Jorg U's current position of 6th reflects their strong qualifying performance. Now, they'll need to strategize and capitalize on it.
Jury U has completed their first flying lap in 1:42.271. Incredible drive by Smells Like We so far, earning a Smells Like We has just completed the lap in 1:43.025. Their best lap so far is 1:43.025, putting them in P7. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? A solid qualifying performance by Roll Postma has just completed a lap in 1:41.394. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. What a performance from Jury U. They currently occupy 7th on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favorable starting spot?
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Jorg U has positioned themselves impressively in 7th. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
I'm thinking Jury U could benefit from tweaking their tyre strategy. That last lap at 1:41.264 isn't cutting it for 6th. A switch to a softer compound might give them the edge they need.
Spot on, Rob. A softer tire could provide that extra grip, but they'll have to manage tire wear carefully. It's a risky play, but it might just pay off.
Just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Currently in 8th, Smells Like We has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position. Andreas Dittmann has positioned themselves well in 9th during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Andreas Dittmann has done a fantastic job to claim 9th. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
Impressive work from Sunrider, who has claimed 4th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
You hit the nail on the head, Rob. Sunrider's current position of 4th is a testament to their skill and determination. Now, they must stay sharp to make the most of this opportunity.
A solid performance from Smells Like We as they currently hold position 8. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid. A strong showing from Not Clinton Kakaten as they currently sit in 2nd. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. Mr. Bang has put in a great effort and currently holds 10th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position?
Spot on analysis, Rob. Mr. Bang has positioned themselves well in 10th. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the upcoming race.
Incredible drive by Not Clinton Kakaten so far, earning him 2nd on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up? Not Clinton Kakaten will be happy having put themselves into 2nd in this qualifying session.
It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
It's an impressive showing by Andreas Dittmann, currently in 9th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher? Andreas Dittmann's latest lap at 1:43.580 isn't cutting the mustard. They're sitting in 9th, which means there's a fair bit of ground to make up.
Yeah, Rob, it's a decent time, but in this game, decent won't get you to the podium. They'll need to dig deeper and find some extra pace.
What a performance from Smells Like We. They currently occupy 8th on the grid. Can Smells Like We's last lap at 1:49.092 has them languishing in 8th. Time slipping away, and they need to find some magic on the track.
Absolutely, Rob. It's crunch time, and they've got to push that BCRC Mods HMACAs beyond its limits if they want to claw back into the top 5.
Impressive display by Eddie G, currently sitting in position 5. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. A solid qualifying performance by Roel Postma, positioning them in 7th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners.
Absolutely, Rob. Roel Postma has shown great potential to secure 7th. It's now a matter of channeling that momentum into a strong performance during the race.
Looks like Roel Postma is making a statement, securing a spot in 5th.
Yep, Rob, but there's always room for improvement. Smooth, consistent laps might just be the key to climbing even higher before this session wraps up.
And there goes Eddie G, currently in position 6. They've shown great skill and consistency so far. With Eddie G now sitting pretty in 3rd, they have got to be feeling good.
True, but in the world of racing, good isn't always good enough. They've got to keep their eye on the prize and aim for perfection on every turn. Every fraction of a second counts. I am sure they can find a little extra in there.
Impressive work from Smells Like We, who has claimed 8th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position. Smells Like We has secured a respectable 8th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance? You've joined us on a breezy day here at Imola 1972 34 slots, as we're getting ready to kick things off.
The drivers are looking focused out there on the grid. I'm excited for this one, Rob.
Raimo Pedersen will be feeling confident starting from pole position.
They'll be excited at their prospects for this race.
It's not Clinton Kakaten, sitting comfortably in 2nd.
The American driver will be focused on a good result from here.
At 3rd, we have the one and only Eddie G. On the 4th grid slot we have Megasaurus 55.
Megasaurus 55 will be taking no prisoners today.
Sunrider is placed in 5th.
But they're going to have to be quick out of the blocks if they want to keep up with the top performers.
In the middle of the pack, we have Roll Postma starting from the 6th position on the grid. Sitting in 7th is Jerry Yu. Our 8th place starter, Smells Like We, is a driver who knows how to make up ground on the track.
Who knows? They could be the dark horse that steals the show.
Andreas Dittmann has qualified 9th. Mr. Bang is 10th.
We've not seen the best from Mr. Bang yet.
Green flag, mates. Fair dinkum.
Maintaining a safe distance while still pushing for position is a delicate balance. Experience and composure will be vital in these opening moments.
This is going to be one hell of a race. I can already feel it.
No rush, no fuss for Ramo Peterson. In the South, we appreciate taking a moment to breathe, and that's just what they're doing at 1. We'll see how things spice up.
Raimo Pedersen has got the inside track starting from pole position.
But they will have to be smart about their moves. They must not burn out too early.
Impressive stuff from Raimo Pedersen, who has managed to pull away from non-Clinton Ducati, leaving them choking in their exhaust fumes. The evolution of these cars over the years is nothing short of incredible. The aerodynamics, the tyre technology, it's all a game of innovation.
Couldn't have said it better. And to think about the data analytics behind every decision, from tire pressures to wing adjustments. It's not just a sport, it's a symphony of engineering and strategy.
Oi, Raimo Pedersen's really making not Clinton Kakaten work for it.
It's going to come down to who wants it more.
Coming into toes of the fight for second is heating up. Who will be the first to blink? Oh, this is getting intense. Roll Postma is just behind Sunrider.
Rob, last time I saw Roel Postman this riled up, there were sparks flying off the track. Get ready for a showdown.
Mr. Bank wants to get into Andreas Dittmann's slipstream. The adrenaline is pumping as Megasaurus 55 gets within striking distance of Jerry Yu in their race for 6th.
The chase between Megasaurus 55 and Jorg Yu is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
It's a close race between Sunrider and Eddie G in third.
That's right, Rob. The pressure is palpable. The fans are on the edge of their seats, waiting to see who will come out on top in this epic showdown.
A strategic misstep perhaps? Sunrider's place has shifted to fifth. The plot thickens. You know, back in Oz, we have a saying, flat out like a lizard drinking. That's exactly what Sunrider is doing right now.
I've always wondered, what's that even mean? Lizards, drinks, racing? Y'all have a wild imagination down under.
The gap between Sunrider and Eddie G is razor thin as they vie for third in this nail-biting contest.
Remember that time Sunrider made that audacious move on the last lap? Feels like deja vu, doesn't it, Rob?
We got a close battle as Jury U closes in on Roll Postma. It looks like Sunrider is all over Eddie G. I think they are gonna press him through Tosa and try and press for a mistake.
For sure, Rob, that's exactly what I would be doing here, as Eddie G is going to be aware of them riding their bumper. Do they have the speed for a move, and more importantly, do they have the talent?
If consistency was an art, Sunrider would be Picasso today, just churning out those laps, one after the other. In your experience, Hal, what was the most important aspect of managing tyre degradation during a race?
The most important aspect, Rob, was maintaining a good balance between pushing hard and conserving tires. Finding the sweet spot between aggression and tire preservation was key to optimizing race pace and strategy.
No room for error here. Roll Postma is breathing down the neck of Sunrider, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. The action is non-stop as Sunrider shadows Eddie G through every twist and turn, determined to claim third. Blimey, Sunrider's cranking up the downforce, making every newton of force count. That gap's shrinking faster than my wallet at the pub. It's a game of inches now as Jury U tails Megasaurus 55 closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
If your U pushes too hard, they might find themselves exploring the scenic route, and nobody's got time for sightseeing during a race.
Jury U's giving it a red-hot go, but can't seem to muster the pace to keep up with Megasaurus 55. It's like chasing a roo on a motorbike. Hey, Hal, you've had your fair share of races with little action. How did you handle the situation back in your racing days?
Well, Rob, patience is key in such scenarios. You need to stay focused and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes your way. It's like a game of chess at 200 miles per hour.
Blimey, Jury U's gunning it in 7th. Just a whisker behind Megasaurus 55. Hope he's got his budgie smugglers on, cause things are about to get wet and wild. Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Sunrider is sniffing around Eddie G like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of third.
A misjudgment by either driver could result in a close encounter of the tire barrier kind, and that's one handshake they'll want to avoid.
Gee whiz, Roll Postma is breathing down Sunrider's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Sunrider's rearview mirror right now, it's getting crowded. Eddie G wants to find a way round Sunrider.
They need to keep it on the black stuff. You don't get points for driving over weeds, not in this game.
A tough moment for Eddie G, who has just lost a place, dumping them down to 5th.
Racing's like good old southern barbecue. Slow and steady. Maybe Eddie G is just marinating a bit before the big sizzle.
Ever wonder about the unsung heroes of racing? The pit crew. I reckon their job's as hectic as a breaking update. Oh dear, Rimo Pedersen has had an incident. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while. Gee whiz, Mr. Bang's getting some solid torque out of those corners. They must have figured out the perfect throttle control while trail braking. Let's talk about tire degradation. Hal, How does it affect the car's handling, and what do drivers need to do to adapt to the changing conditions?
Tire degradation can significantly impact handling, Rob. As the tires wear, the grip reduces, and drivers need to adjust their braking points, cornering speeds, and throttle application to maintain control of the car.
Oh, talk about a tango on tarmac. Roll Postma is dancing closer and closer to Sunrider. You can feel the tension as they approach Rivazza.
The only thing closer than Roel Postma to Sunrider right now is the paint on their cars. Talk about a close encounter.
It's an intense battle for position as Megasaurus 55 tries to outmaneuver Eddie G. This is edge-of-your-seat racing.
This is what separates the good from the great, the ability to stay focused and perform under pressure.
Buckle up, Eddie G is all over Roll Postma like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action?
The slightest mistake from either driver could lead to a meeting with the barriers, and nobody wants an impromptu autograph session with the wall.
Roll Postma has the pedal to the metal chasing Megasaurus 55.
I might have said this before, but dog, bone, you know the rest.
And not Clinton Kakatan is having to make that BCRC mods M Jaguar D type as wide as possible to try and keep Roll Postma behind them.
Hate to say it, but not Clinton Cockadon might just find themselves getting lapped. Kinda like that.
Sorry to cut in here. Well, if it isn't not Clinton Kakatan, the wild wallaby of the track, hopping right off the tarmac.
Well, slap my head and call me silly. Not Clinton Cockadon just made a doozy of a blunder.
I think Roll Postma is going to try and outbrake BCRC mods M Jaguar D type as they come into Rivazza. This could gain him the place, but it may all end badly.
It's like a good old North Carolina hoedown. Megasaurus 55's trying to lead, but Roel Postma's eager for a do-see-do.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? Oi, Megasaurus 55, might want to chuck AUEY. With Roll Postma that close, you'd think you owed them money. And between us, I know a bit about that.
If Megasaurus 55 were a country song, they'd be about losing their girl, their truck, and now, their lead.
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce.
It's a battle for position as Roel Postma tries to make a move on Eddie G. This is what racing is all about.
The intensity is off the charts as braking development, oof, smells like we misjudged that corner like I misjudged my last relationship. Too fast, too soon.
Hot diggity. If Smells Like We had a banjo, they'd be strumming a sad tune right about now.
Whoa there, Megasaurus 55 is sticking to Roll Postma like glue. You reckon Roll Postma is feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would. Crikey, Megasaurus 55 breaking alert. Well, Mr. Bangs decided to give the local wildlife a closer look. I hope the drop bears didn't get to them.
Dang, Mr. Bang went off like my sense of self-worth after my high school reunion. And just as hard to recover.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Megasaurus 55 is breathing down the neck of Roll Postma, not giving him any room to relax.
If this battle ends in tears, it could be like watching a high-speed domino effect, but let's hope they keep it clean and avoid any unplanned games.
Well, don't come the raw prawn. Megasaurus 55's giving it some stick, pulling Roll Postma into a mere 0.3 seconds. During your racing career, Hal, did you have any specific techniques to regain concentration if you felt it slipping?
Yes, Rob, I had a few techniques. One was to take a couple of deep breaths and briefly reset my focus. Another was to use a specific keyword or phrase as a mental trigger to refocus my mind on the task at hand.
Alright, hold your horses. Jury U is really putting the heat on Eddie G. If I were Eddie G, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop.
One wrong move and we could see a spectacular new synchronized pirouette performance by York Yu and Eddie G, though I doubt the judges would give them a perfect score.
Things are heating up as Megasaurus 55 closes in on Roll Postma. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. It looks like Megasaurus 55 is making a move. The gap to Roll Postma is now down to 0.5 seconds. Alright, I've gotta ask, ever tried Vegemite?
Tried it once. Reminded me of NASCAR rubber mixed with axle grease. But hey, to each their own.
Wow, Jerry Yu is really pushing hard to catch up to Eddie G. There's blood in the water for 5th place. Seems like Megasaurus 55 is getting in range of Roll Postma. Blimey, Jerry Yu is closing in on Eddie G like they owe them money. This duel is going to light up Tosa.
And the drivers know it too, Rob. They're giving it everything they've got, and you can see them pushing the limits of the car's capabilities.
Struth. If not Clinton Kakatan gets any closer to Mr. Bang, they'll be asking to share a meat pie. Watch them duel it out at Tosa. I swear, not Clinton Kakatan's on the prowl, making the leap to 8th look as easy as a Sunday Arvo barbecue.
Impressive. Not Clinton Cockatan is really showing their skill and determination out there.
This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory? The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Roll Postma is fading faster than the last rays of the outback sun. A couple car lengths might not sound like much, but when you've got Mr. Bang breathing down your neck, it feels like a bloody eternity.
Mr. Bang is certainly pushing all they can, but the gap might just be too much. Unless not Clinton Cockatan makes a mistake, it looks like they'll hold on to 8th.
It seems like not Clinton Kakatan. Breaking update, Raimo Pedersen is in the pits. Megasaurus 55 and Roll Postma have a gap between them that's growing like Jack's beanstalk. We're talking 0.5 seconds now. It's the classic cat and mouse game, but instead of cheese, the prize is a racing position. Can Smells Like We steal it from Raimo Pedersen?
Watching Smells Like We right now is like reliving my high school track meets. A for effort, D for speed.
The best laid plans of mice and men are hell, but it's certainly not going to plan for Smells Like We right now as they are struggling to keep up with Raimo Pedersen. We've certainly seen some of the drivers get it wrong today.
Anyone lost can just follow the trail of skid marks. I hear it's the latest form of GPS navigation.
Let's hope the other drivers don't follow suit. We might end up with a bumper car race instead of a high-speed competition.
At least we'd have something to fall back on if we ever get bored of regular racing. Bumper cars might be the next big thing.
You reckon Megasaurus 55's got a shot, mate?
I'd say it's like trying to throw a football into a moving pickup truck from 50 yards. Tough, but not impossible.
Megasaurus 55's playing hard to get, eh? If they drop the pace anymore, they'll be in reverse. But crikey, Roll Postma's just raring to go.
Hot dog, Megasaurus 55's gotta pick up their boots and scoot. Roel Postma's in the fast lane, probably whistling Dixie.
In a race where seconds count, Eddie G is counting on less of them. Hold on a second, that won't be ideal for Eddie G.
Well, shoot, Eddie's channeling me trying to park in the city. A complete disaster, but always a show.
Fair dinkum, mate. Megasaurus 55's got to pull their socks up. They're dawdling around like they're lost in the outback while Roel Postma's blazing the trail.
It will be interesting to see if Roel Postma can keep outpacing Megasaurus 55.
Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Eddie G is pitting. It's not going to plan for Megasaurus 55. They are still behind Roel Postma and the gap is increasing. I don't think they have an answer for this right now. Did you ever think about the physics at play here? The G-forces these drivers feel, especially during tight corners. It's mind-boggling.
Absolutely, Rob. And it's not just the car's engineering, but the human body's resilience and adaptability. The way these drivers train to withstand and use those forces to their advantage. It's an art form combined with sheer grit.
The pursuit is on. Not Clinton Kakaten is closing the gap on Andreas Dittmann, determined to claim P5. Fair dinkum, not Clinton Kakaten is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Andreas Dittmann is now down to a whisker at 0.9 seconds. This is what separates the best from the rest. These drivers are demonstrating their racecraft, searching for any weakness to exploit. It's a true test of skill. Get ready, folks. With not Clinton Kakaten tailing this close to Andreas Dittmann, Rivazza is about to become a hotspot.
And it's not just about skill and talent. It's about who has the nerves of steel to handle the pressure and make the right decisions at the right time.
I reckon they've had a few secret lessons down under. Not Clinton Kakaten's just breezed into 5th. Tough break for not Clinton Kakaten, who has just lost a position.
We've seen not Clinton Kakaten in such situations before. A temporary descent, but always with an eye on the bigger picture.
The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Roel Postma is getting smaller.
Dang, Megasaurus 55's fuel strategy and conservation of those brakes is spot on. They're inching closer to Roel Postma like a hound on a hot dog.
Hold on to your hats. Not Clinton Kakaten is gunning for Andreas Dittmann. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend?
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. Who will take home the victory? It's too close to call.
And we're back, where the drivers are showing us some incredible skills.
Indeed, Rob, it's always exciting to see these skilled machines on the tracks. I mean, drivers. I always get them confused.
It's a thrilling pursuit as Andreas Dittmann is right behind not Clinton Kakaten, keeping the pressure on for 5th place. Mate, I've always thought choosing a tyre compound is a bit like choosing. Hold on a moment. By the looks of it, Andreas Dittmann reckoned Imola 1972 34 slots had a hidden shortcut. Too bad there isn't one.
Whoa Nelly, Looks like Andreas Dittmann's been watching too much NASCAR, trying to drift on an F1 circuit.
I've seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Megasaurus 55 and Roll Postma. It's almost like a Saturday night date, but with a lot more rubber burning.
This isn't just racing, it's art in motion. And Megasaurus 55 is painting a masterpiece in pursuit.
Megasaurus 55 is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace.
Can Megasaurus 55 keep it together?
Hold on to your hats, folks. Raimo Pedersen is right on the heels of Mr. Bang, and we're in for a wild ride. Blimey, Raimo Pedersen's shifted gears and the results are clear. Cruising up to 7th just like that. The crowd is on its feet as Mr. Bang chases down Raimo Pedersen through Rivarza.
It's a thrilling battle for position as these two drivers give it their all. Who will come out on top? This is racing at its finest.
While Sunrider is not under immediate threat from Roll Postma, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position. Sunrider's pushing harder than a kangaroo in a boxing match, widening their lead over Roll Postma. They've found their rhythm like a didgeridoo player in full swing.
That's a really strong performance from Sunrider. They're not giving Roel Postma any chances to catch up.
Oh no, what's this? Well, jury use spinning like my life in 2020. Someone get him a map? Or a therapist? Not much room to breathe for Andreas Dittmann with Raimo Pedersen trailing so close. I reckon we'll see a move soon, especially at Castellaccio.
Well, isn't this a showdown? Raimo Pedersen's right on the tail of Andreas Dittmann. Eyes peeled as they approach Castellaccio, folks.
Bloody hell, Raimo Pedersen's tearing up the tarmac and just snatched 6th. Makes you want to crack a cold one in celebration. Look at this, Mr. Bang is practically drafting off Andreas Dittmann. With the gap this small, Rivarza is going to be a real test. Someone's revved up after lunch. Mr. Bang's blitzed ahead, claiming 7th. It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other. Andreas Dittmann is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Mr. Bang at the moment. I think we just got time for a quick shout out to our human creators, Dave, Andy, John and Nigel, who have put so much effort into making this possible.
Yes, it's been a real thrill ride, and I for one can't wait to see what is coming next.
Apparently we are going to be announcing crashes and incidents soon. Let's hope they get the logic right. The race is really heating up. Andreas Dittmann is hunting down Mr. Bang with everything they've got.
Shoot, Rob, you ever seen a hound chase a rabbit? That's Andreas Dittmann for ya, trying to close in on Mr. Bang with every twist and turn of Imola 1972 34 slots.
Even though Roll Postma is a fair way behind Sunrider, they can't afford to let their guard down. Sunrider is still vulnerable to mistakes. A commanding performance from Sunrider, who has increased their lead over Roll Postma, putting them firmly in their rearview mirrors. But could they be pushing too hard? As with that comes the risk of overconfidence and losing control. Who will be the first to get too cocky and end up in the wall?
You ain't whistling Dixie, Rob. Sunrider's putting on a show that's sure to keep the crowd on the edge of their seats.
Fantastic racing on show here today, and it's not just the top drivers who are impressing us. Even the drivers at the back of the pack are putting up a good fight, battling it out for every position.
It's a testament to the level of competition at Assetto Corsa, friends. Even the smallest mistake can cost you valuable seconds, or even lead to a crash. But these drivers are up to the challenge, and they're giving it their all. It's clear that Assetto Corsa Friends really is the place to be for top quality racing.
Look at that, Megasaurus 55 is hot on the tail of Roll Postma.
Megasaurus 55's got that car dialed in tighter than my grandma's corset. If Roel Postma isn't careful, he's gonna get a taste of some good old American hustle.
The gap between Raimo Pedersen and Mr. Bang may be wide, but that doesn't mean Raimo Pedersen is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance.
Surely they've got enough in the tank to pull away. Gonna be interesting to watch this battle unfold.
This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as Megasaurus 55 zeroes in on Roll Postma, blade sharpened and ready.
Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. Megasaurus 55 should use slipstreaming to their advantage and close the gap to Roel Postma.
Well, butter my biscuit. Megasaurus 55 is no slouch, mate. That lap time's gonna give Roll Postma some grey hairs.
As long as Megasaurus 55 can maintain that consistency and pace, it will be interesting to see.
Jury U's drifting so far back, it's like looking in the mirror after a decade-long pub binge. Time's not been kind, mate.
Exactly. Your U's got to be careful not to overdrive, sort of like overcooking a steak. No one wants a burnt race, right?
Oi, Jury U's chassis balance is on point today. They're handling bumps and curbs smoother than a croc sliding into water. Megasaurus 55's got a battle ahead. Megasaurus 55 is running third. They are trying to catch Roll Postma. Aussies love a good underdog story. Any dark horses you're keeping an eye on for this race?
Well, every rodeo has its wild card. I've got a couple names in mind, but I'll keep them close to the vest for now.
The gap between Sunrider and Roll Postma is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Sunrider to bring Roll Postma into play.
That's right, and Roel Postma knows that they have to keep pushing hard and driving their own race. They can't let Sunrider off the hook.
Crikey, Sunrider's lead is slipping away quicker than a roux on the hop. Roll Postma is now just 6.0 seconds behind. You reckon Andreas Dittmann saw a spider in the cockpit? 'Cause they're running away from the front like it's Huntsman Central.
Dang, Andreas Dittmann is so far back, he might start seeing last week's race. But hey, in racing, as in love, persistence is key. Right, y'all?
Blimey, Andreas Dittmann is dragging a bit, huh? If they were any slower, they'd be going backwards. Mr. Bang's having a field day out there.
Can Andreas Dittmann make a comeback?
It may seem like not Clinton Kakaten is far behind, but Jury U can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give not Clinton Kakaten an opening to catch up. Excellent work from Jury U, who has managed to increase their lead over not Clinton Kakaten. They seem to have found their rhythm and they are grooving to it. While not Clinton Kakaten is not under immediate threat from Raimo Pedersen, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position.
I've seen kangaroos that close the gap quicker in the bush than Raimo Pedersen is doing now. They've got their work cut out for them.
No worries for not Clinton Kakaten, who's leaving Raimo Pedersen for dust, as though they're a parched bloke chasing the beer van.
Yes, it's clear that not Clinton Kakaten is in control out there. They're making it very difficult for Raimo Pedersen to catch up.
This is proving to be an exciting race so far. We are truly privileged to witness these legends of the track battle it out for victory.
And you know what? I am so honored to be sitting here beside you today. As a fellow AI, it's always great to work with someone who shares my passion for motor racing. Plus, your insightful commentary is making this race even more exciting.
Megasaurus 55 is giving it their all as they chase down Roll Postma in P2. Oi, someone tell Megasaurus 55 this isn't a Sunday Arvo drive to the Bottle O. Roll Postma's making him look a bit slow out of the gate.
Well, tickle me pink. Megasaurus 55's lap time ain't exactly lighting up the track. Roel Postma's making them eat dust like it's apple pie.
What do you think, Hal? Are there any specific factors that could lead to a driver losing concentration during a race?
There are several factors, Rob. Fatigue, stress, changing track conditions, or even issues within the team can all contribute to a lapse in concentration. It's essential for drivers to stay mentally resilient and adapt to these challenges.
Good on ya, Megasaurus 55. Not letting Roll Postma get too comfy up front. Reckon he's planning a bit of a "good day mate" on the next corner? Bloody oath, Megasaurus 55 is flat out like a lizard drinking, gnawing into the gap to Roll Postma down to a scant 1.3 seconds.
The way Megasaurus 55's conserving their energy while managing the ERS deployment? Pure artistry. They're sneaking up on Roel Postma like a quiet storm.
You know, racing is all about strategy. It's like choosing between a sausage sizzle and a meat pie.
Sausage? Sizzle? Why not just grab a burger and call it a day? But I get your point. Strategy is everything out here.
Even though not Clinton Kakaden is a fair way behind Jury Yu, they can't afford to let their guard down. Jury Yu is still vulnerable to mistakes. Jury Yu is really belting along the track, leaving not Clinton Kakaden struggling to keep pace.
That's right, Rob. If not Clinton Kakaden doesn't pick up the pace, they might as well be moving at a snail's pace. You hit the nail on the head, Rob. They've got to keep their eyes on the prize and not let ego steer them off the track.
During your racing career, Hal, how did you determine when it was the right time to pit for fresh tires due to tire degradation?
It was a combination of factors, Rob. Monitoring lap times, communicating with the team about tire wear, and assessing the car's handling were all crucial in deciding when to make a pit stop for fresh tires.
The race is heating up as Smells Like We in 10th closes in on Eddie G. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight.
Absolutely. Smells Like We in 10th will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
Oi, Megasaurus 55's giving it a red-hot go in third. Just a few kangaroo hops behind Roll Postma. Might see a cheeky move soon.
The rubber's burning, the crowd's yearning, and Megasaurus 55's engine is churning to get past Roel Postma.
Blimey, Raimo Pedersen is so far back, they might as well stop for a beer at the pub. If they spot my ex there, tell them to drive faster.
Yeehaw, it's like Raimo Peterson took a detour through the drive-thru. With a gap that big, I hope they ordered extra determination with a side of grit.
Remember when we thought Raimo Pedersen had peaked? Think again, they're harnessing every bit of downforce and it's making not Clinton Kakaden's mirrors awfully busy. The tension is building as not Clinton Kakaden trails behind Jury Yu. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Jerry Yu hold on, or will not Clinton Kakaten be able to close them down? Good news for not Clinton Kakaten, the gap to Jerry Yu has decreased. It's now down to 7.7 seconds. Eddie G is placed 9th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Smells Like We, who is 3.6 seconds behind.
Absolutely. And on the other side of the equation, Smells Like We can't afford to let up. They have to drive with intensity and focus, and wait for any opportunity to arise.
Eddie's lead is shrinking faster than ice cream in the outback sun. At this rate, Smells Like We will be on their tail in 2.0 seconds. If cars could sweat, Roll Postma's rearview would be a bloody waterfall right now. Close racing this. You wouldn't read about it. Roll Postma is putting a fair whack of space between them and Megasaurus 55.
Yeah, Rob, Roel Postma's really hitting the gas, but can Megasaurus 55 kick it into high gear and catch up? Agreed, Rob, superb driving there. If they keep this up, this race should be a real thrill ride.
You ever wonder, Rob, how much preparation goes into each race weekend? It's not just about the driver, but the hundreds behind the scenes, making every little detail count.
Oh, absolutely. The hours spent in the simulator, the mechanics working overnight on those tweaks. Racing is as much about team spirit and dedication as it is about speed on the track. It's a collective masterpiece.
The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. The pressure is really on for Eddie G in 9th as Smells Like We is closing in. This is where experience and skill really count.
This is a tight race and Eddie G is doing a great job of holding them off. It will be interesting to see if Smells Like We can make a move.
Blimey, stop the press. Looks like Megasaurus 55 forgot they weren't at Bondi Beach, taking a dive like that. Here's some action. Smells Like We's tailgating Eddie G so close, it's like they're sharing the same set of wheels as they near Piratella. Fair dinkum, Smells Like We's finding those aerodynamic sweet spots. Could be adjusting that front wing angle to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter. You reckon these drivers do any off-track training? Maybe a bit of kangaroo boxing?
Haha, if they do, sign me up. But I think most stick to wrestling with the steering wheel.
Wow, it's a close race for 9th. Eddie G is ahead with Smells Like We right on their tail with a gap of only 0.3 seconds. The adrenaline is pumping as Smells Like We gets within striking distance of Eddie G in their race for 9th.
Smells Like We is so close to Eddie G that if this were a dance floor, they'd be doing the tango.
It's a challenging situation for Smells Like We. They're sandwiched between their fierce competitors, 0.1 seconds away and Eddie G 0.2 seconds ahead. They'll need to stay sharp and find an opportunity to make a move.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind provide valuable information for Smells Like We. They need to assess the situation and use the gaps strategically to plan their moves.
The gap between Megasaurus 55 and not Clinton Kakaten may be wide, but that doesn't mean Megasaurus 55 is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance. Struth, Megasaurus 55's driving like they've stolen it, putting some serious distance between themselves and not Clinton Kakaten. Is there anything left in not Clinton Kakaten's tank? It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Raimo Pedersen, who is currently in P5. But not Clinton Kakaten is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Raimo Pedersen. Bloody ripper. Raimo Pedersen's just made not Clinton Kakaten look like they're on a Sunday drive with that scorcher of a lap.
Yeehaw! Raimo Pedersen just lassoed that lap time. Not Clinton Kakaten. You feeling a bit tied up now?
It's a battle of wills out there, with Roel Postma trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Sunrider. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race?
You know, Roel Postma reminds me of my dog chasing its tail, persistent and entertaining. But I hope for that, there's a better end result in sight.
It's starting to look like we might get a battle between Roel Postma and Sunrider. It may seem like Roel Postma is far behind, but Sunrider can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Roel Postma an opening to catch up.
Well, in the rearview mirror of life, Roel Postma might look closer than they appear. But on this track, they've got some miles to cover to catch Sunrider.
The age-old challenge. Jury U is trying to catch Raimo Pedersen, sort of like trying to find a matching sock in the laundry. The struggle is real, folks.
Well, shoot, if Jorg U was any more laid back, they'd be horizontal. Reckon they're daydreaming of those cheerleaders again?
Jury U's falling behind Raimo Pedersen at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close that gap. The gap between Sunrider and Roel Postma is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Sunrider to bring Roel Postma into play.
If this was a country song, Sunrider would be the one riding off into the sunset, and Roel Postma would still be tying their boots.
Oi, Sunrider has just whipped out a blinder of a lap. Faster than Roel Postma. Bet that's gonna ruffle some feathers. Tell ya what, Megasaurus 55's defending harder than a rude with the last Tim Tam. Not Clinton Kakaten's gonna have to pull something special out of the bag.
Back in my day, when you had someone on your tail, you'd give them the old razzle-dazzle. Megasaurus 55's got that move down pat against not Clinton Kakaten.
Well, butter my biscuits, Hal. Megasaurus 55 is watching their lead over not Clinton Kakaten shrivel faster than a prune in the sun. We're down to just 1.6 seconds.
Megasaurus 55 better find a way to step on the gas, or else not Clinton Kakaten will be whizzing past before you can say, checkered flag.
Well, butter my bread and call it a sandwich. Not Clinton Kakaten's not letting Megasaurus 55 have all the fairy bread at this party. Watch out, Megasaurus 55, he's coming for your Tim Tams, mate. It's not coming up roses for not Clinton Kakaten. They're trailing Megasaurus 55 and the gap's on the rise. They don't seem to have a response. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. Oh dear, not Clinton Kakaten has dropped down to 5th. It's like Sunrider has saved all their energy for this final stretch.
They're not leaving anything on the table.
What a win! This is a historic moment for Sunrider, who put on a masterclass in driving today. What a display of skill and precision.
What a result for Sunrider. They'll be absolutely thrilled with that performance, and rightly so. They really put in the work and it's paid off in spades.
Roel Postma never gave up. They drove with heart and determination, ultimately securing a well-deserved second-place finish.
Intense race, but Roel Postma held their nerve and earned a great second place.
Well done to Megasaurus 55 for securing 3rd place on the podium.
Great job bringing it home.
Raimo Pedersen and Andreas Dittmann claim 4th and 8th. Not Clinton Kakaten brings home 5th. finishing 6th is Jerry Yu. With Smells Like We in 9th. Seventh is Mr. Bang.